All right, it looks like we still got a couple more people coming in, but we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Garcia. I'm a software support specialist over here at Distributor Central. Today's webinar is going to be going over custom products. So first off, what is a custom product? So a custom product would be something that you either copy over from the supplier. So any of the products that are in our database, you have the ability to go in, copy that over from the supplier, and then you can go in and change whatever you want to change about it and add it to your account and make it orderable on your website. Another version of a custom product is a product that's not in our database that you can create from scratch and make it orderable on your website. So today we're going to go over, show you how to do that. And these mostly come in handy is if you're building like a niche store, you have your own products that you want to sell, or if you are looking to create a company store for one of your clients and you want to be able to display their products with their logo on it on a website that they can look at. This would be ideal for that. So what we're going to do today, like I said, we'll go over that here. Feel free to ask questions along the way in the chat. If you have any questions, we'll save some time at the end to get those answered. And then, so feel free to ask them along the way in the chat. And like I said, I'll save about 5 to 10 minutes at the end to answer those questions for you guys, so we can kind of go from there. But let's go ahead and get started. So once you log into your Distributor Central account, your screen will look like this, which will take you to your home page. So first thing you need to do in order to put custom products on a website is you need to have a website. So if we come over here to the menu and we go down to websites, hosting manager, this is going to be where all your current websites are that are active. And you can see I've already created a website here called DC Store. So first thing you want to do is build a website, because you're going to have to build the website to be able to move the catalog onto the website. And you'll see that here as we go along. So once you have a website, then you can go back to your home. Let's say we just logged into our account and we already have a website. You're going to go to your account tab into child accounts. So what are child accounts? Child accounts there's two types. There's the fulfillment account. So the fulfillment account is a type of account where you're going to host all these custom products. So anything you copy over from the supplier or you create from scratch is going to be in the fulfillment account here. A distributor account is like a sub account within your main account. So what that is used for is, let's say you build a company store and the payment options or the shipping is different from all the websites on your main account. You create a child account, distributor type, and then you go ahead and assign all the information to that particular company. You'll still be the contact as a distributor, but then you can apply, different payment methods and stuff, and it won't affect your main site. Another option is you can use a child account to create for, like, if you have sales reps and you want them to have their own accounts, create their own customer base, have their own website, so on and so forth, but you still be able to control it under your main account. So we're going to work on today the fulfillment account because that coincides with the custom products. You can see I already have one created here, but all you would do is come up to add child account and then fill this out, and then just make sure where it says company type, just change that to fulfillment. So it's going to default to distributor, but you want to change it to fulfillment. And you can see right there, it even says manage your products, product editor. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. So if I go to the account tab, child accounts, and I see my fulfillment account here, I'm going to log into it. So you can see the menu is a lot different from the main account, where now we're getting into what we call the product editor. So it's the websites aren't on this the websites aren't on this account. It's mostly custom products, private catalogs, which we'll go over here in a second. There's a couple ways to view your current list. So if you come over here to product list, if you're on your home page of your fulfillment account, if you click on product list, it'll pull them all up right now. So you can see right now I have 2. If I come to the home again and I go products, add edit products, it'll pull it up too. So multiple ways to get there. When you're in the actual product itself, obviously you don't see that product list anymore. So let's say I was editing this product and I wanted to get back to my main list. You can use the menu over here and go to products add edit products, and then you'll have your entire list here of your current products that you have created. So what we're going to do first is, like talked about the two options, two types of custom products. One, you copy over from the supplier. So the product's in our database, you copy it over, you change whatever you want to change about it, and then kind of make it your own, customize it. And the second one is creating one from scratch. So first we're going to copy one over from the supplier, show you how to do that. And then we're going to do one from scratch. And today's webinar is going to be focused on apparel. We did one last week. This is a two-parter that went over hard goods. So if you need the link to that recording, let us know and we can send that to you. So I'm going to come over here again to products. I'm going to go to advanced features, and then I'm going to come down here to where it says copy supplier products. So now you can see here that it's basically asking me for the information of the supplier product that I want to copy from Distributor Central database. So if I click on the supplier account right here, this is my account, fulfillment account, and you can see it up here in the top left too. So I'm going to go to the supplier account, and this is going to be the list of all the suppliers that are currently signed up with us and have products listed in Distributor Central. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead, and I've already picked out my products that I want, and you can pick out your products either by doing a product search, or maybe you already have them in mind. You just need to know who the supplier is when you're copying products over, the item number. So you need to know those two things mostly to get it going. So in this case, I'm looking for a low profile cotton twill cap from AutoCap. So I'm just going to click in here and start typing in auto. You can either type, so if you just click in here and then start typing, it'll find it, or you can use the scroll and scroll down and find it. And the next thing I need is the item number. So I'm going to grab the item number, which I've already got, put it in there. And then the data to copy over. So this section, you want to try to make these products as easy orderable as possible. So you don't want to have a lot of options on it, make it complicated for your customer. You just want the very basics. That's the easiest way to set it up, and it's also easier for you to get in there and maintain. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the pricing, and I can show you. So with the pricing, it's going to copy over all the pricing. So as I mentioned, with copying over, it's copying over like if I left it the way it is right now, it would copy over everything that the supplier has on this product into my account, and I don't want all that. So you can copy over the pricing, and that's going to have the quantity breakdown majority of the time, you know, like 100, 200, 250, 500. But most of the time when you're setting up these stores, you're going for like an EQP type of pricing. So I'll just do the pricing and I'll show you how to remove that too. And then we'll do the images too. But none of this other information, I don't want the choices, I don't want the options, and I don't want the template data. So I'm just going to click submit. And you can see that it's created. So now if I wanted to add another one, I could go back to the form, but let's go ahead and just view and edit the product. So you can see everything's already copied over. I don't have to add anything in here. It's already ready to go. So when I'm looking at this, as we talked about, this is basically editing the product itself. So I'll show you. If I come back to my home, go to products, add edit products, it'll be in that list now. Remember I had 2, now I have 3. So the cap I just copied over is right here on top. And if I click edit, then I can come in here and I can change whatever I want to change about the product itself. You know, so if you had, for instance, images, if I come in here and maybe I had a different image that I wanted to use, maybe my customer's logo, I have, you know, Photoshop, Illustrator, where I can get in there, some kind of graphics program and put their logo on it so they can see how it looks. Then you can upload that image. With the images on the product, you want to make sure that the longest side is 750, and it gives you a reminder right here. So longest side, 750. And then over here, you'll see the additional images that the supplier has included. So like I said, it's going to copy over everything. So I'm not going to offer all these colors to my my customers. I only have 3 colors that I want to offer to them. So I'll just go ahead and click delete all, and it'll get rid of all of them. And what would have saved you a step if you knew exactly what colors you want, just don't copy over the product images when you're creating the product. So you can see now they're all gone. And let's say I even want to change this one up. I don't want to use that one as my main. And then I'll get rid of these, the marketing images that copied over too. So I'm left with like a clean slate here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to pick a main image. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have all your images ready to go that you're going to use, first off. So I've already downloaded all my images and I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to go to my file that I've created. I'm going to use the black, click open. And so the colors that I'm going to use on this one are black, red, and blue. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. And if I wanted to add extra colors in here, I could. So I could do the blue and the red. I'm just pulling from my desktop where I have them saved. So the way that apparel differs from the hard goods is it's set up a little bit differently in that the apparel has like colors and usually has sizings with it. In this case, with the cap, there's probably not, it's one size fits all. But you'll see when we get to the next product, which is going to be a t-shirt, when we create it from scratch, about the different options, sizing, stuff like that. So the way you want to set the apparel up is you want to go back. So I have my images in here. You don't have to add these additional images if you don't want to. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them now because you'll see what I'm talking about. The way we're going to set it up is you'll see all the images available because we're going to use, we're going to base it off of what we call a style number. So I'll get rid of these real quick. Go over to my home, my main info. And you see right here where it says style number, and it's already got a style number in there. I'm going to change that to the color. We found this is the easiest way to set up apparel. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to black. So remember my colors are red, or black, red, and blue. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to come over to the images again. Make sure those are gone. I'll just get rid of those real quick. And then you, like I said, you want to make sure that you have the least amount of stuff on it as possible just to make it orderable. You don't need a lot of information on the product in order to make it orderable. So what I can do is when I started on my main info, I already have the description and everything in there from the supplier. I added a style number for the color. So the style number is going to be the color itself. I'm going to go to the next tab, make sure I have a production time set, which I do. It's already set for what the supplier has. Images, we just did that. So I have the black image in there. Pricing, this is what we talked about earlier. I copied over the pricing from the supplier, so it's going to be exactly what they have listed in their account, which in this case, it's 12, 144, 288, 576, 1296. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this real quick because I want to do EQP. So I'm going to change that to 1, do $5. Make sure you check this box here that says display to customers, so that'll show up on your website. You don't have to worry about the margin code. The margin code's more meant for the supplier side where they'll be able to set the retail, and then that'll show you when you're looking in Distributor Central as a distributor, that's what shows you between net versus retail pricing when you're on the product details. So as a distributor, you don't really have to worry about that. You can just leave it default at A if you want to. So I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to move on to categories, which they should already be in there because I copied it over from the supplier. Yeah, so you can see caps and hats and apparel unisex. I'm going to go to catalogs. So here you can see from last week, I've already created a private catalog and we'll show you how to do that. But by default, you're going to have your fulfillment account catalog already loaded here. So I'm going to add that to my custom product catalog that I created. I'm going to save it. And then last thing you need to check on would be the line name just to make sure it's assigned, which in this case it already is. So now I'll save it and I'm ready to go. So now I'll go back to the main information here on the product. And this is where, like I was saying, this is the easiest way to set it up because now all I have to do, I have the base template of this product set up. All I need to do now is come in here and click add similar. and literally come in here and just change the style number, because remember, we're going with the style number for the color. Hit save. So now I'm going with red. And the only thing I'll have to change is the image. So I'll just come in here, update the image to the red. And you can go back to main info if you want and then do add similar, or you can just do it right now. It'll just basically pull in the full product. So if you wanted to go back, add similar, and I'm just going to change it to blue. So right now, when those update and those show up on my website, all three of those products will show up. If you want them all listed out, then put them in the same catalog. If you don't, then pick which one you want to show as the main one. So let's say that I wanted the black hat to be the first one to show. If I go back to my home page here, and remember, you can either click product list to get back to the list, or come products, add edit products. So we'll go this route this time. And I go here, you can see the ones that I've created. So instead of me having to create three from back to back with going in and having to fill all the information in, I create a base one, I just add similar, I change the style number for the color, and then I also update the image, the main image that's showing. So now when I come in here, let's say, like I said, I want the black to be on the main that shows for the main image. I don't want all three of them listed. I want it to just show one, and then when they click on that one, all the other three will show up. So if I go into black and I look at the catalogs, this is the first one I did, so it's already assigned to custom products, right? And I did add similar to the other ones, so those are also assigned to custom products. So if I look at the product now in my website, what it's going to do is it's going to have all three of them side by side. So if you only want one to show up, what you do is you come back to your list here, and there's a button up here. I'm going to go to the next color, blue, click edit. And in order for it to show up on a website, it has to be in a catalog. So I'm just going to move it to a different catalog. So I'm going to take out custom products and just put it in the default DC catalog, which in this case, it would just say whatever your fulfillment account is. So if you don't create a private catalog, it'll just have your fulfillment catalog over here for now. And I'll show you how to create a private catalog here in a second. So I'm going to change that one to DC. And then I'm going to go back to my list, and I'm going to change the red one to DC. So it depends on how you want it to have viewed. If you want them all there in thumbnails for them to see it, then you can do in the same catalog. If not, put it in the main catalog that you want and just put the other ones in a different catalog. So if I edit the red one and I come over here, I'm going to take it out of custom products and put it in DC catalog. So it's assigned to a catalog, and it'll show up. And now I have it all created. So what we would do from here is, if you don't already have a private catalog created, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the products tab. We're going to go to advanced features, and then we're going to go to catalogs. So you can see that I created the custom products catalog. That one was already created. The DC catalog coincides with your fulfillment account. So whatever you named your fulfillment account, that catalog will automatically be in there. But right now I created the custom products last week in that one, but I'll go ahead and create a new one so you can see that too. So if I click add new catalog, let's say I didn't have the custom products in there, or maybe I just want to create an apparel one. I'm just going to call it apparel. You can even set a start and end date if you're having a sale or you only want it to show up during a certain time period. I'm going to click update. And now I have the catalog created. But in order for me to start assigning products to it and also for it to show up on my website, I have to give permission to my main account. So my main account is the DC webinar. So if I come down here to the D and I type in DC webinar demo, there it is right there. I'm just going to move it over, click update, save and exit. And now if I go back to my home page here, and let's go to my product list, and I look at any of these that I added, there should be another catalog in there for me to choose from. So when I edit this product here, and I go to catalogs, you can see now I have that apparel one I created and also the fulfillment one, which you'll see there. And then that was the one I created last week, the custom products. So you can basically what you want to do when it comes down to the fulfillment account, you want to have the less fulfillment accounts you have, the better. So what you can do is you can create a fulfillment account which hosts all your custom products, and then just create separate private catalogs and move those products into that catalog. So let's say you have like 3 company stores. They're not going to have the same products on all 3 company stores. So you create a private catalog for company store number 1. You create a private catalog for company store number 2, and you create one for number 3, and you have certain products that are in each one, and you only load that catalog on the website. And you'll see here when we get back to the website after we create this custom product here, that from scratch, you'll see that where you load it on the website. Another way you can do it is if you have multiple products created and you just want to start moving them around all at once, you can come over here to the products tab again, come to advanced features, and this time we're going to go to catalog manager. So you have to have the catalog created, but once you do, you can come over here and let's say that apparel one that I have. If I click on that, I can go ahead and these are going to be all the products that are currently in my fulfillment account, and I can move over multiple products at one time if I wanted to, instead of doing it one by one, and it's automatically going to update there for me. So the next example we're going to go over is creating one from scratch. So if I go back to my product list, and I just want to see what current products I have on my account, and then I'm going to go add new product up here. So this is starting out blank. And like I said earlier, when you're creating these products, you want to try to create it as simple as possible. So you don't need a lot of information in order to get a product up and running. So for the product name, next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a, let's see, I'm going to do a ladies core cotton tee from Sanmar that I found that I like. So I'm going to name the product, which I'm just copying and pasting over here that I have already laid out. I'm going to put the product name in there. I'm going to add the number. So this is basically the item number. And you can make this whatever you want. You don't have to use the suppliers. If it's easier for you to remember, you can do that. You can make it, I could say LCCT if I wanted to, abbreviate the ladies core cotton tee. And then I'm going to add the style because we're still in apparel. So I'm just going to go ahead and do black. And then I'm going to add a description. Hit save. And now I've started the process. So remember, you just want to do, you don't have to do that much in order to get it going. So you can kind of move down the tabs as we've been doing. You want to make sure to have a production time on there. So I go additional info, which is the next one. And I'll do, let's say 14 days. And as you see here, I'll go back real quick. If you wanted to add the product size or product weight, you can do that. If you want to add additional information on here, so like if you come down here and you wanted to say like, what colors are available, you can add that and just, colors, black, blue, red, however you want to do that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So if we want to do that, we'll just click save. And once again, what we're doing right now is we're building the base product for this item number. So once we build this and it's good to go, then all we have to do is add similar and change the color again. So we only have to create one. So the next thing we're going to do is go to images. I'm going to go to my images. And since I had the main one be black, I'm going to go ahead and do black on this one too. So if I come over here, I'll click this, add black. Next thing we'll do is go to pricing. Come over here, just like we did it before. I'm going to say $15. Check the box to make sure it displays to customers. Hit save. The options, we'll get to that here in a second because it's going to be a little bit different because now we're going to have actually sizes with it. Categories. We'll do t-shirt, We can just do shirts. So you just need to have one. You can have multiple ones if you want to, but you just need to have one in there. We're going to go to catalogs, and we'll go custom products like we did before, and we'll also put it in apparel. And then we'll come over here to line name. Make sure we have it moved over to our line name, which is basically just your company. So now we have it created, but in order to do the add similar, we still need to create the options. So now, as with the cap, it was one size fits all. We didn't need any options, which goes back to talking about you want to do the least amount possible to help you set it up quick and not have to get too deep into the product. But with this, it's a t-shirt, so we're gonna have sizes. So now what we need to do is we need to create some choices and options. So just to kind of give you a background, let me go back here. There's three main areas, and this comes in handy when you're creating a product from scratch, is why I'm bringing it up now. There's three main areas that you want to focus on the product. So you have your product level, you have your options, and you have your choices. So as an example, right now, the choices would be the sizes. So small through double extra large if you wanted to do that. Options, the options would be the actual product size itself. So it would just be product size. So those choices that you created, extra small through 2XL, connected to the option, and then the option will be connected to the product. So the easiest way to do it, if you already have all your information ready to go, would be to start with the choices, do the option, and then set up the product. Because as you can see, as I've gone along, the product is pretty easy to set up. It's when you get into the choices and the options, they're going to have a little bit more information that you need to get into. So if we go to the choices, and you can see here that with the hard good items, I actually set the colors up as choices. So when they click on the item, it'll say how many do you want, and then it'll have them choose from a list of colors. With the apparel, we do it a little different because you have colors, you have multiple options. So in this case, you have color, and you also have sizes that's going to go with it, because it's not one size fits all on the shirt. So what I'm going to do, and once again, I just click choices up here. I'm going to add a new choice. I'm going to change the option type. So whatever you change the option type to has to match in the actual option itself. So for this, we'll just do product sizes. And we'll start with extra small. So choice name, choice number. And if you wanted to do, so let's say that you have multiple apparel items, and some of the pricing is different when you get into the larger sizes, which you'll see here in a second. And so you want to be able to distinguish what sizes go with what product. So you can actually add a style number again. And what I like to do is I just put the item number in there. So when I'm looking at the list, which you'll see here in a second, you'll know exactly what to look for. So if I click save, so now you can see I have the extra small. And then I could either create a new one, or I can just do add similar, just like we were doing with the product. And I'm going to change that to small. Add similar. So however big of the sizes they go up that you guys offer, we'll go up to like 2XL so you can see the difference if you wanted to add an additional charge. Maybe we'll do 3XL. I'm just adding similar choice. That way I don't have to click product size again and go through the whole thing, type in the style number and everything. So I can just do it this way. Extra large, whoops. And now we're going to get into the bigger sizes. So I'm going to add similar, but usually with the bigger sizes, there's an upcharge. So I'll just do 2, save. And let's say for 2XL, it's $2, and for 3XL, it's additional $4. So if I come over here to pricing, with just leaving it the way it is right now, it's going to apply back to whatever I listed the pricing in on the product level. But if you have additional charge for the larger sizes, then you can come in here to pricing, and you can see it looks exactly the same as it did on the product level. And I'm going to do one, make this $2. I'll change this to extra. Click on that so it displays, hit save. And then I can add similar choice to do my last one, which would be the 3XL. Hit save. And then if I come over to pricing again, I need to update it because it's going to be at 2 if I copied it over. So I'm just going to change that to 4. And now I have my sizing set. So now what I want to do is, if I go back to my choices, you can see I have all my sizes here that I've listed out. And the style number is the actual number of the item. So it'll help me find it when I'm looking at the options, which you'll see here in a second. So now I'll go back to the other, like I said, choices, options, products is the easiest way to do it. So if I go options, now I'll click add new option. Remember, they have to match on the type. So I'm going to go back to product sizes. And I'm just going to call the option product sizes. For the number, anytime you have the number there, I like to put in the actual item number itself. Once again, it makes it easier to find, which you'll see here in a second. And then you can do like PS for product sizes. You can basically put whatever you want there. If you put the item number in there first, though, it'll help you find it quicker. And now I'm just going to come to choices within the option level, so you haven't left options. And you can see, remember how I listed the item number when I was creating the choices? So if I didn't have that, and let's say I had two 2XLs with different pricing on it for different items, you would have two 2XLs that look exactly the same and you wouldn't know which one's which. So if you put that style number in there, you can actually see which ones apply. So I can come in here and I can take all of them, move them over, hit save. And now that they're saved there, last thing I'm going to do is go to ordering. And so here it's already got the ordering question based off of what you listed as the option name. So it's going to say select whatever you have there, but you can change that to whatever you want. I'm going to do minimum quantity 1, make it required. So the difference between optional and required is they can bypass the option if it's optional. Required will make them choose one in order to move on to the next. And then, so right here, this is a apparel type of item. So I want to make sure and use the apparel, which if I come over here, you'll see, where is it? Right here, choice quantity style group with total apparel. And last but not least on this, on the option level, you can actually rearrange this. So it goes over as I moved it, but I want it to be in order for the customers to see. So if I come over here to extra small, I can move to the top. I can move this one underneath it and just get them all in order from extra small to 3XL. Too high there. And now I have it. I'll click save. And so if I hadn't created the product first, because I was showing you that, then the next step would be to create the product, and now we're going to attach it all. But we've already done the product, so now I'm going to the last part of the 3 main, which is product. And you can see here, ladies cotton core tee. I'm going to edit that. And we need to add the options. So we created the choices, then we connected the choices to the option. We created the option with the choices connected to it, and now we're going to connect the option to the product. So within editing the product, so just hit edit next to it, come to the options. And you'll see down here, as I mentioned earlier, when you actually put the item number in front of it, you can see now it's easy for me to find. So imagine I had, 20, usually with the company store or custom products in general, you want to go for right around 20 products or less, especially if you're doing a company store. And that way it's easy manageable and easier to manage and stuff like that. But you can imagine if I had like 30 products in here, I would have an entire list of different options, but I can pick them out by if I put that item number in the front there so you can see. So I'm gonna just move that over, hit save. And the last thing I want to do on the product level is I want to make sure that the ordering is also set to apparel. So the option and the product level are both currently set to apparel. So now I have my base product created. I have my choices created. I have my options. It's all connected to the base item that I was creating, but I still need to add my other colors. So if I go back to the main info on the one that I just created, now all I need to do, like we did before when we copied it over, is just do the add similar option. So I'm going to add similar. Come in here, change this to red. And then I'm going to just change the image. Everything else applies the same. The only thing would be different is the image. So I'll pull the red image. You can hit add similar again. These buttons are always up here. So you can add similar again if you want to, or you can go back to the main and do add similar, whatever, however you want to feel comfortable with. And then the last thing I'm going to do is blue. So it's copying all the information over. I don't have to go back in and do any of the stuff because I set up the base one on the black, and then I'm just doing the additional colors here. And so now when I go back and look at the image, I just want to change it to blue. And I'll leave this one the way that they're all in the same custom product, so you can see what I was talking about, the difference between the two, where they'll all be listed out in the thumbnail, and then where they will just have one that's showing black, and then you click on it and it shows you all the rest of them. So I'll leave it the way it is right now so you can see that. So then we go back to the product list. Now we have our products. We created our private catalog. We moved the products over to the private catalog. Now we just need to put it on our website. So we do that. We're in the fulfillment account. We're going to go back to our main account. So if you're logged into your account and you come up here, you'll see your initials. Click on that and click switch accounts, which returns you back to your main account. From your main account, you're just going to go into the actual website editor. So we're going to come down here to websites, hosting manager. I'm putting it in the DC store, so I'm going to click manage, hit edit, and this is pulling up our website editor. And so as you've seen before, if you attended last week, and I'll go over it again in case for those that didn't, I picked the company store template mainly because it's one of the easiest ones set up that we created for you guys. You can see right here, it says catalog block. So all you have to do is literally load the catalog on your website. And then once you have that catalog, in this case, I do that custom products. Once that catalog is loaded there, I don't have to come back to my website at all. I can stay in my fulfillment account, create all my custom products, assign it to custom products catalog, and it automatically updates on my website. But if you didn't add it yet, and this was your first time coming in, you just come up here to the library tab, come up here to catalogs. So you can see our custom products is already added. So let's say I wanted to add that apparel, one that we also added, and click add catalog. And you can see here that the apparel one, so we already had one in the system. Let me go ahead and rename that so it sticks out a little bit different. I'm just going to go back here real quick and rename that. So I'm going to go back into my child account, fulfillment account, go to my catalogs, and rename it real quick. We'll call it custom apparel. So all I'm doing is renaming it. Save and exit. Now I'm going to go back to the main account. We'll hop out of the website editor. Another thing you can do if you want is when you go back to your main account, and let's say you're getting into it for the first time, websites, hosting manager, and you just created a catalog. So I'm come over here to my DC site, manage. You can update catalog permissions. That's basically doing a catalog refresh. So this is a good tool if you go ahead and add your catalog to your website without doing this and the products don't show up. Go ahead and update your catalog permissions. You don't have to do that option, but you can if you want before you get into the website editor. So now I'm going back into the website editor. I'm going to the library tab up top again, catalogs, add catalog. And now you can see the one that I added should be in here, right here, custom apparel. So you can see that's a system one already created. And then here's my custom apparel that I just added. So in order for it to appear in that list, when we were creating the catalog and we gave it permission to our main account, that's how it appears in this list. If you just create the catalog and you don't give permission to use that catalog on your main account, or whichever, if it's in a child account, the website's located, it won't show up in this list here. So that's how you'll know kind of, hey, I just created a catalog, private catalog with custom products. I can't load it on my website, it's not in the list. You probably forgot to give it permission to the account. So now I have my custom products created here. I'll just click done, hit save. And then if I want to preview my site, you can either go back to your hosting manager, and if you already had your website pulled up, your link here, or you can come over here and you can do live preview here at the top. So if we look at the website, remember how I said I was going to do both options so you could see? So here is the cap that we copied over, and I'm looking at my site here. So if I click on it, remember I still have the other colors in there too. And you can see right here that blue, I could switch between the blue and the red. I have those colors mixed up there, but you get the idea here. So I can switch between those colors there. If you want them all to show, then you just keep them all in the same catalog and they'll all show like this, like they currently do here. So it depends on kind of how you want to have it displayed, and which option you decide to go with. So I'm just going back to the hosting manager. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Like I said, stick around for about 5-10 minutes, see some questions in here. We'll get those answered for you. As always, if you guys have any questions, give us a call, 888-516-7401. You can email us at info@distributorcentral.com. And like I said, this is part 2. So if you want to see part 1 over the hard good items, which I believe we did a tumbler and a stress ball, let us know and we can send you a link to that recording. Hope everyone's doing well, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.